All right, next up, we're going to talk about Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt once was talking in the interview, and he had some things that caught some eyes. He revealed why he thinks his acting career is on its last leg. Let's check this out.
Opening up about being on the last leg of his acting career. The Oscar winner discussed in a recent joint interview for GQ alongside his Wolves co-star George Clooney the meaning behind the phrase he has previously used regarding the future of his career. He says, "It's not what you think. I meant that as seasons. You know, there was moving out from the safety of the Ozarks. You embark on this thing, and it's all about discovery, and it's really exciting and interesting and painful and awful and all of it. And then when you're allowed into the big leagues, it becomes another game of responsibilities and things to answer to, but also opportunity and delight and working with people you really respect." The 60-year-old actor continued of his perspective on his current life season, and then it's this time now. It's, what are these last years going to be? Because I see my parents are I just see what George was explaining. In your 80s, the body becomes more frail, and yet I look at Frank Gehry, he's just the loveliest man, and he's 95 and still making great art, and he's got a beautiful family. And I think that's kind of the formula to stay creative and keep loving your life.
I mean, he's got valid points, and like he's got a valid kind of reason for kind of feeling the way he does, because I think most people in general, most humans would definitely feel this way no matter what field they're in, is that as you get older, you start to really look at things in a different lens and perspective and like wonder, like, is this it? Do I still have this in me? Will I still be able to produce the way that I was able to produce? And like for somebody as prolific and as big of a star as a Brad Pitt, I'm sure getting older is a huge shock for him, because a lot of his career, especially early on, was like he had acting chops, but they were also, I mean, quite bluntly, based on his looks. Like he was a heartthrob. He was the definition of a Hollywood lead man. And like as you get older, things change. Your body doesn't respond the same. You don't look the same. You don't think the same. And like you, especially like somebody who like I said, came in so young and blew up so young, and to like grow old in front of our eyes, which is crazy in itself, you would begin to wonder, like, is this it? Is this the last of my career? But I will push back a little bit, because although his career is still very much on a very much high, and like he's 60, and like that's kind of crazy, and like you would never even know that, he probably worries about the roles and his impact in film going forward, because obviously at some point the same roles that you would have gotten when you were 40, 50, 30 are just no longer going to be available to you, because you just don't represent that character, wouldn't be able to pull it off or whatnot, like all different manner and reasons. But if there's anybody who could like continue on this as long as he is, I think he is. Like if you compare him to like Samuel Jackson, who came in and blew up much later in his career compared to like a Brad Pitt, and is still doing and still being a lead, I think that concept of growing old in Hollywood is very much changing and shifting, because there are a lot more roles opening up for people. And if anything, I think it'll only expand the breadth and depth of his career in the future, because he will be able to tap into a much deeper, much more personal, much more introspective, I think, manner in his acting, and like touch these depths that he never had to before in his career, because now he's going to be an old man, and like things are going to open up for him, roles that are going to open up for him, that I think that he would be absolutely phenomenal in them. I mean, look at Clint Eastwood. He's damn near 100 and still putting out films, and like some of his best films came much later in his life, because he was able to kind of portray and touch on a different aspect or different chapter of a character, just simply for the fact that he is much older. And like I think that is something that we will be surprised to see, his acting chops and just how good he truly is the older he gets. Like I said, like if Samuel Jackson is pushing the age he is and still being a lead man, and Liam Neeson being a lead man at damn near 70 and Taken, there's no reason to really worry about Brad Pitt as Chris. The only question is, will he still want to keep doing it? And like at the pace and clip that he's been doing it, I don't see him slowing down or stopping anytime soon, but like his concerns definitely, they're warranted. Like, they're understandable.
Clooney added that they're both lucky to be able to plan out their futures, adding, "We're in a profession that doesn't force you into retirement." He added, "I will walk up to people and they'll be like, 'Oh, you're older than I thought.' And I'm like, 'I'm 63, you dumb shit.' It's just, that's life. And so as long as you can make peace with the idea of change, then it's okay. The hard part is, and I know a lot of actors who do this, and you do too, who don't let that go and try desperately to hold on to it." For more on this story, head to thr.com.
Absolutely. George Clooney's absolutely right. If you can accept that change, that things are going to be different, that you're going to be different, that roles are going to be different, and just fully lean into it, I think we will see the best Brad Pitt we've ever seen. Just like Clint Eastwood. We saw the best Clint Eastwood we ever saw. I don't really care to argue with anybody. The best Clint we ever saw was the older Clint Eastwood. And like, if this is kind of the model for somebody like a Brad Pitt, which I think it could be, I think we can get the best work we've ever seen from him on a character level. I'm here for it. Dope.